Time now to hear out the man himself on whom Nazara Games has launched their latest game. 2016 was indeed a stellar year for Virat Kohli, and 2017 has kicked off on a good note again, with him becoming the captain of India in all three formats of the game, including one-days and T20s. And now he has his very own video game. I caught up with him. Take a look at what he had to say.
Honestly, it's a very strange feeling for me. I've always been a very keen gamer myself. I've always liked to play cricket games, on my gaming consoles and the phones and tablets and whatnot. So now to have a game of my own, obviously it's something that's very exciting for me, because I know how much I love games and there are people who are maybe 10 times more excited and better gamers than I am. So for them, I think it's more exciting to be coming out with a game which is interactive, which is fast, to be precise. I mean, it's very important for the game to run well, and that's what we're trying to do with Nazara. It's a great thing that's happened at the start of the year, and I'm very excited about it.
What exactly compelled you to take up this particular venture? What was the trigger for that to say, like, you know what, let's do this. I'm going to see myself become a video game.
Well, I think we're using our phones so much these days, and we look for things for entertainment, and there's only a limit to what you can do in terms of watching videos and doing other stuff on the phone. But a game is very interactive, and if it's a game with levels, you obviously want to achieve the next level, and you keep going for it until you achieve it. So I think that's what we are trying to achieve with this game, along with Nazara. Cornerstone has come in with partnership in partnership with Nazara, and the fit was perfect in terms of Nazara being the biggest name in gaming in the country, and I wanted to launch it with them, knowing that the platform is massive, and the exposure is massive, and the game, as I said, speaks for itself. Even when I played it, I found it very interesting.
Okay, talking about the game, there are two games, in fact. There are not one but two. One is Virat Super Cricket, which is very realistic and actually taken from real life scenarios where you've played a game and won, say, you had 12 runs to score of 10 balls, and you've actually managed to score that in real life, and that scenario is replicated for the gamer who's playing it. And then the other, which is a simpler stick cricket, in which it's actually you and Rohit Sharma together. Talk to us about that. How did that come about?
Well, the idea was, brought upon. I think it's been a few months when the idea came in, and I thought it's great. I mean, to have me and Rohit play together in that game. Stick cricket is all about hitting fours and sixes.
Yes.
So it was about giving people that entertainment in a short span of time, when they don't have much time on hand. They can play 3-4 quick games and get done with it. The other game, the Super Cricket, is very, very interactive. As I said, it's a 4D game. It's one of those games that you play on the gaming consoles, and you have that look and feel. And people who know the game, there are different types of deliveries coming to you. You can time your shots. You can hit it the place that you want to hit it. And I think that's the best thing about it, because it's controlled by a swipe of a finger. It's not just buttons, directing the ball, but you actually have to move in your stance, and you have to time the ball, and you have to execute your shots really well. So I think that's great from an interactive point of view.
What is Virat's creative input when a game is created like this? Like when Nazara Games is coming up, where do you come in terms of this creation of this game?
Well, obviously from my end, what the feedback I gave was it has to be very realistic. Stick cricket is something very different, as I said. It's got its own model, and we are just characters induced into the game. But with the Virat Super Cricket, I think what you see is the reality of the game coming through from your phone. As a gamer, as I said, it has to convince me first as a gamer that what I'm playing is realistic, right? Even with the features of the players and the certain characteristics you have, those things are very important as well. So from that point of view, I think the game runs very smoothly, and it gives you a real feeling of watching the game on TV and actually being able to control it. It gives you that sort of a feel.
Can fans out there expect more, iterations of this game, or are you going to concentrate on these two games and building these two going forward?
No, for sure. I mean, the kind of feedback that we get, the kind of response that we get from the fans, we are going to try to improvise as much as we can, try to make it more realistic, try to bring in features that engage the people much more. I think that's what we want to achieve through these games. But for starters, I think it's great to kick it off, and people are really going to enjoy playing these games.
And I just watched you play Virat Super Cricket. It was, I think, a Bangladesh game where you had scored 12 runs out of 8 balls. In real life, you had actually finished the match, but you just played the game on the game. You couldn't finish it, could you?
I'm much better with the bat in hand rather than swiping my finger on the phone.
That we all know, Virat. There's absolutely no doubt about that. I'm going to let you out the last couple of questions. One is because we are talking to you from ET Now Startup Central. Nazara Games is not a typical startup, but it was one of the first startups in the country, and now it's evolved into so much. What is Virat Kohli's engagement with India's startup ecosystem? You know it's been hitting headlines. I'm sure you've been reading about it as well. This is one such engagement. Are you planning to be an investor in the Indian startup ecosystem? Or do you like getting in the know of startups?
Definitely. I mean, that's one of the things that I want to do because I know the game's gonna finish at one point. So I'm trying to learn as much as I can about the startup ecosystem, and we've spoken about a few investments that we want to make in the next couple of years as well. So that is something that I'm really keen on learning and understanding how the system works, when to invest in, what to invest in. Those things are very important. So I'm just trying to get smarter on that front, because I don't want to be left with nothing to do when I'm done with the game. I'm like, what do I do in life now? So I think this is a perfect section for me to go into, mold myself into, and get a better understanding of how things work. So definitely you're going to see me being actively involved with the startups in this country.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.